Way back when I used to sell cars, back before I knew anything about psychology, before I knew anything about persuasion, before I knew anything about hypnosis or hypnotic language patterns, back when they just told me what to say and I would spit it out without having any clue what I was saying or why I was saying it. The name of the game back in those days was to get people to commit. Because if you can get somebody to commit in the direction of your outcome, that will significantly increase how likely you can persuade somebody to do what you want. But the way we tried to elicit commitment back in those days, when I look at it in hindsight with retrospect, it was very, very manipulative. Like, for example, somebody would wander onto the car lot and they would see a nice blue SUV. And they would say, hey, this is a nice SUV. Do you have one in red? As soon as they asked the question, we were trained to say something like, well, if I can get you a red one, can I earn your business today? We wouldn't answer their question unless they promised to do something in exchange for answering the question to try to get them to commit towards the purchase, which was very, very manipulative. Another way we would get them to commit was to leave them by themselves. You know, when you're buying a car and the salesperson says, I'm not sure if I can do this. Let me go talk to my manager. And they go talk to the manager and you're wondering why it's taking such a long time. They're doing that on purpose because you're looking at this piece of paper with the best price of the car. And you're starting to think to yourself, maybe I can. And you're trying to commit yourself in the absence and you're letting your mind go in circles, and this will hopefully get you to commit to a higher price. But it is true, despite how manipulative car salespeople are, it is true that if you can get somebody to commit, if you can elicit a commitment in the direction of what you want, you will significantly increase your ability to persuade people to do whatever you want. You will significantly increase your ability to seduce people in the direction of where you want to go. You can significantly improve your ability to make a ton of money with very little effort. So how do you do this without being manipulative? You have to play the ego long game. You have to understand the structure of the ego. You have to understand how our ego presented itself back in the old days. Then you can understand how to leverage the ego, how to resonate with other people's egos and leverage them in the direction where you want them to go from a non-manipulative, completely ego-free standpoint. And the first thing you do is learn how to manage your own ego. The ego is very, very slippery. The ego is really the devil, and all these metaphors and literature and philosophy back since the dawn of time about the devil, that's really the ego. Like when they say the greatest trick the devil ever played was to convince us that he didn't exist. This is talking about the ego. The greatest trick the ego plays on us is to convince us that he doesn't exist. This is from anthropology, from a theory by Robert Trivers, an anthropologist, that our ego is designed to keep itself hidden from us. It stays hidden deep in our subconscious, so we don't think we have an ego. So our ego can assert itself with us without us really knowing it. So from our own internal experience, we don't think we have an ego, but everybody else in the world except for me has an ego. Everybody has that same experience. But if you relax deep enough, if you calm yourself down enough, if you sink down deep into your subconscious enough and just relax yourself, relax your mind, relax your ego, and become purely curious about the other person, you won't have any of these subconscious ego expressions. Because even when you're talking to somebody, even when you're purely listening, they're talking, you're listening, you're still expressing your ego. You're still expressing your ego through your nonverbal communication based on how you respond to what they're saying. Any kind of micro movements towards just a little bit of subconsciously expressed judgment is your ego, and they pick up on this subconsciously. The trick is to turn your ego off completely and completely, temporarily accept as valid everything that they are saying. Accept as valid everything that they are saying as an accurate representation of what is inside their mental map. And just ask them, build out their mental map. Ask them what they want. Completely accept everything they want. Even if the things that they're saying are absolutely crazy and you know they're never going to work. Don't tell them that. Just relax your ego and accept as purely valid what they want. And once they get a good idea of what they want, ask them questions like this. Are you sure that's what you want? That sounds like it might take some time. That sounds like it might take some effort. You could spend that time and effort doing other things. Are you absolutely sure that is what you want? And they will tell you. They will flex their ego when they tell you. What are some of the negative consequences that will happen when you get what you want? And they will tell you. Are you sure that is something that you can deal with? Are you sure that it's worth the costs? And they will tell you. The more of these completely ego-free, curious-based questions that you ask about why they want what they want, how they know that's what they want, they will flex more and more and more in that direction. And from inside this ego-free mind state, deep down inside your unconscious, up underneath the subconscious of them, expanding their ego map out from the inside out, that is the easiest way to get people to commit in the direction of what you want so you can get whatever you want. The hardest part is to relax your ego completely and not give them advice, not tell them what you think they should do. Even though it's blatantly obvious what they should do, don't tell them. It won't help. That's your ego. The compulsion to say, I need to tell them, I need to help them. That's your ego. Turn that off. This is the greatest paradox ever in persuasion and seduction and sales. If you turn off your instinctive desire to tell them, to help them, it will hinder the process. But if you turn it off completely, if you don't tell them things that will help them, you can get them to commit in the direction of where you want, and you will get them to do whatever you want. This is precisely how a lot of my customers and clients and students have been able to make an easy 6 figures just by being as lazy and relaxed as they possibly can, and just literally sinking down inside their brain, turning off their ego, and just asking questions and accepting everything the other person says. If you can accept and appreciate and validate everything the other person is saying without any impulsion to tell them why they should do something different, and just ask them why they want that, you can get them to flex in the direction of what you want, and you can get anybody to do anything you want. Literally anything.